Hey, it's Michael Seeley, and welcome to the podcast. This is part 2 of the Activate Your Hunger Goal Setting for Athletes podcast. Part 2. If you haven't heard part 1, if you haven't listened to it, you need to go back and listen to that. Otherwise, today's not going to make a lot of sense. So pause this. If you've already listened to part 1, welcome. If you've done the exercise in part 1, welcome back. If you didn't do the exercise in part 1, go back and do the exercise. It's actually a good refresher to go and listen to part 1. What we did in part 1 was we made a list of your aspirational goals. This is a dream goal list. So it is like a bullet-pointed brainstorm list of rough draft goals that you want for your athletic career. And the reason we did this was one, to get you hungry and activated. So many athletes set the goals too low. They set the bar low. They're not in an activated state when they're writing down their goals. They're a little too practical. So that was step 1, is really getting this hunger drive activated in you. And what we also did was wrote down a list of feelings of aspiring, of actually achieving the goal. What would it feel like to actually do the work and achieve this goal? You feel this incredible sense of accomplishment. And what we also did is we wrote down, what would it feel like to not achieve the goal? How disappointed would you be? How much regret would you have if you didn't actually train for it? You didn't actually really do the work to get there. And we did both of these. We had like the carrot and the stick, because you want to use both as an athlete. You want to be the master of your feelings. Your feelings can lie to you sometimes, so you want to be able to really leverage both of them. Use the aspiration and the desperation feelings to achieve your goal. So that's what we did last week. So if you still have that list from last week, either you wrote it down on paper or you put it in a Word document, however you documented it, you had a list of brainstorm bullet-pointed goals, like your dream goals. Then you also had a list of feelings of what it would feel like to achieve the goal and what it would feel like not to achieve the goal. Today, we're going to create goals that you're actually going to achieve. We are going to map this out in a very intelligent way. And you may have heard this before, but there's a wonderful acronym for goal setting. It's called S.M.A.R.T. S.M.A.R.T. SMART goals. And a lot of coaches use these, a lot of academics use these. It's a great way to think about goal setting, and I'm going to take you through it today. But before we get into SMART goals, I want you to take out your list of your brainstorm rough draft list of goals, your rough draft here, and write down next to each one of these goals that you wrote down last week, write down the percentage chance of you actually accomplishing each one of these dream goals, these rough draft goals. Okay, so you may not have an actual time frame on this, but write down a number of a percentage chance of accomplishing each one of these goals. Now, some of these are going to be lower, some of them are going to be higher. There may even be a couple that are 100%. There may be one that's 0%. I don't know. But write down right now the percentage chance of accomplishing in your best, prediction each one of these goals. Take a minute to do that. Now, pick the one goal with the highest percentage chance of achievement that you think, that you have the confidence or knowledge that you can actually achieve this goal. Highest percentage chance. And look at that goal. Just visualize yourself achieving it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to write down all the reasons why you must achieve this goal. I use the word must because it's a lot stronger than would like to, or it would be kind of nice, right? This is much more must, like a hunter that needs to kill the prey. You must achieve this goal. If you don't achieve this goal, it is certain death. I want you to get in that primal hunger mindset, like you're a hunter and you need to kill this prey, because if you don't, you and your family and your tribe are going to go hungry and you might even die. So that is what I want you to do, is write down all the reasons right now why you must achieve this goal that you selected. So take a minute to do that and activate that passion. If I don't achieve this goal, I'm going to regret it. You want to write down the negatives and the positives both. Remember, you're going to leverage both the negative and the positive. So on the positive side, it could be, I'm going to grow as an athlete. I'm going to create a legacy for my sport. I'm going to inspire other people. Even if I have missteps to my goal, I'm going to handle like a boss, and I'm going to show other people that I'm human too, and everyone can achieve things. Like, make it a huge dream, even bigger than yourself. Put it on social media. People are going to follow, and they're going to be inspired, and they're going to share my social media, and other people are going to be inspired. Where I'm going to create this ripple effect. That's why I must achieve this goal. Reasons why you must. Write it down. Take a couple minutes to do this. Write as fast as you can. Don't be too practical. Just let the emotion out. Write it down. Take a minute to do that. Okay, now you have a list of musts, absolute must reasons why you have to achieve your goal. Now we're going to get into the SMART goals, the S.M.A.R.T that I referred to earlier. This is how you're going to actually achieve the one goal that you selected. So, S stands for specific. S stands for specific. S-M-A-R-T. You must be S specific, very, very specific about what your goal is. It can't just be, I want to get more top 10 finishes in my running races. That is not specific enough. It can't just be, I want to do a better job at fielding the ball when I play shortstop. That's not really a goal. It's more of kind of like a wishy-washy kind of thing. You want to be very specific. So, for example, if you're a batter, you want to say, I want a 300 batting average. If maybe you're a runner, I want to break the 5-minute mile barrier. Something that's very, very specific. Because if you don't have a specific target, you're not going to be taking the actions every day that are going to put you in the direction, in alignment with that target. So get specific. Depending on your sport, it's going to be different. So take a minute to get very specific about what you actually want. Okay, the next step in the SMART acronym is the letter M. M stands for measurable. You must be able to measure your progress toward your goal. You have to do this. If it's like looking at a staircase. If you look at the very top of the staircase and there weren't any stairs, how would you get to that level? How would you do that? You'd have to figure out your process to get to the top of that staircase without the stairs. You'd have to climb it with a rope, or I don't know how you do it. But this is what you need to do. You need to measure your progress along the way, and I call it mini goals. So you have the one goal that you chose. That is your end result that you want. You need to create chunks or stairs or mini goals along the way. And these also need to be very specific. If you're going to be running a 5-minute mile, you're going to say to yourself, okay, let me measure where I'm at right now. I'm at the bottom of the staircase. I'm only able to do a 7-minute 30 mile, for example. Now that is my baseline. That's where I am. I have actually measured it. Okay, that's where I'm starting. How many chunks or how many stairs do I want? The more stairs, the more mini goals along the way to your eventual goal, the better. It builds confidence. It's a lot of ways to kind of adjust if things are going a little slightly awry. You want to have a lot of mini steps and goals along the way. So again, depending on your sport, you want to break it down. So for running, it would be, I want to do a 7:30 mile, then a 7, then a 6:30, and then a 6:25, then a 6-minute, etc. Okay, so you get the idea. Depending on your sport, write down as many mini steps and goals to get to your major goal. Okay, the next step in the SMART goal acronym is the letter A. A stands for achievable. Now, you may not have 100% certainty that you can achieve this goal, but I asked you to choose a goal that you thought that you could actually achieve with a certain percentage of confidence, okay? So you could always set another goal after you accomplish this one. That's the beauty of sports, is you're always growing, always achieving. But if you don't actually believe the goal is achievable, now you can have a tiny bit of doubt. That's actually okay, because that's going to make it more exciting. But if it's only like a 50% chance of being achievable, what's going to happen is that you don't actually believe that, so you're not going to be really serious and committed. You want to have a high percentage of achievability that you think you can actually do it. Okay, the next step in the SMART goal acronym is the letter R. R stands for relevant. Relevant. The why. Why is it relevant that you do this? Why is it a must that you do this? Now, we already did this. Out of the gate, I wanted to get you in that activated hunger state of why you must, why it's relevant to do this goal. And the more reasons you can come up with, the better. Okay, finally, the letter T in the S.M.A.R.T. acronym is time. T stands for time. When are you going to achieve this goal? Now, you don't want to have the date set so far out that you can relax and say to yourself, I have so much time, I'll do it tomorrow. You want to have some urgency to it, but you don't want it too close that you don't have enough time to prepare for it. So select the time with that in mind. When do you want to achieve this goal? And also, when do you want to achieve your mini goals, your staircase, each step? When do you also want to achieve those? And I'm not talking kind of a general date. I'm talking an actual specific date on the calendar that you're going to actually set in your calendar right now or very, very soon. I'm going to be achieving this step toward my big goal on this date. I'm going to be I'm going to be achieving my next step toward my eventual goal on this date, and so on, until you get to the actual deadline of when you're going to achieve your goal. Now, it could be the deadline is already there. It's a race or an event. Obviously, that's the deadline, so you want to back step from there. But you want it urgent enough that it's going to kind of light a fire under you, but not so close that you don't have enough time to prepare for it. Okay, you now have a plan to achieve your goal. This is awesome, all right? So SMART, remember that S-M-A-R-T, you are going to achieve this. Now, I'm going to add another letter to this, and I call it the X factor, or actually the F factor. So an F stands for faith, okay? There's never 100% chance that you're going to achieve anything. That's just not the way life works. But I want you to have a little bit of faith in this process. You're going to feel more and more confident as you achieve your mini goals along the way to your major goal. So you may not be feeling 100% confidence right now, but that's okay. I want you to have some faith in yourself, take a risk, and that's how you grow. Okay, are you committed to this goal? What is your level of commitment? I'm hoping it's really high, okay? Now, if it's not that high yet, like I just said, have some faith and start the process. There's this thing in psychology called behavioral activation, in that you need to actually take action before you believe you're capable of doing something. So you actually just need to start the process. And in doing that, you're going to get some momentum. So think about that. Take a step, take a leap of faith. Also, you need to recommit, not just commit, but recommit to your goal every single day. Every day, you're going to look at your big goal, your major goal, and your mini goals that are going to get you to your big goal. You need to look at this in the morning, first thing in the morning, and before you go to bed at night. You need to become obsessed about your goal. Like, you must kill your prey. You need to be looking at this list twice a day until the day of your event or until the day you achieve your goal. Now, it's time to go out and do the work. Day in, day out, the work will make it worth it. You're going to thrive off of the work. The work is addictive. It fills you up. It's like laying bricks. You are building something great. Go out there and do the work. It is 100% worth it. You are a champion. I want you to go for it. This is Michael Seeley. This is my sports psychology podcast. If you need a good coach, go to my website, michaelseeley.com. I'm rooting for you. I know you can do it. Go out there and crush your goals.